Oh yeah.
That's how it's starting. All right.
Let's go.
We are going. I'm going to go ahead and address that there was no episode last week because I had some audio issues. When I went back and listened to the recording, it sounded like we were robots talking to each other. So,
and I also was going in and out because I was up in the mountains in Colorado.
that was, yeah.
Didn't have the greatest connection. I had to use my hotspot on my cell phone, so.
Yeah, so between the
There's that
audio, there was about a half hour of it that was good, and that was like the first 15 minutes was Kyle figuring out his internet. So
Yeah.
I just figured it
Pretty
wasn't a good one to post. So this is episode 30, not last episode that no longer exists.
And I'm also still on vacation. I'm just in Michigan now, but clearly it's not my typical background. I'm sitting on a bed and I feel like I'm sitting like paint me like one of your French girls type scenario here, but we're working with it.
So what do we want to talk about first?
Well, we might as well do the first thing that was going to be in the last episode, Halloween Kills. Get that out of the way since that was going to be mostly what the episode was about.
So yeah, we did talk about Halloween Kills. I wanted to talk about Dune this episode. So I might
me
talk.
And Jeannie haven't seen it.
I'm gonna talk a little bit about it, but I'm not gonna go into any spoilers.
Still talk about it,
But you two definitely have to watch it because it honestly one of the best movies I have ever seen in my entire life.
That's so good to hear.
So goddamn good.
So good to hear, actually.
But anyways, Halloween Kills. It sucked.
It was definitely a bridge movie for the third one. We'll say that.
Jeannie, did you watch it? Did you ever watch them?
No, I know. I saw the scene.
Hasn't seen it. You had a whole other week.
I will say this. I saw the scene where they all gang up on him with the baseball bat and the gun. They all just like go to town on him. I watched that.
And nobody shoots him in the head.
That literally, I was watching it and I was just like this, staring at the screen.
Yeah.
I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like this movie just gave up. Like it
really did.
It was like, oh, we just got to end the film, you know, because
they rushed everything in for sure, 100%.
It makes me think it shouldn't have been a trilogy. It should have just been 2 movies because it obviously had a clear like setup movie, and then they had an idea of where to go with it afterward.
That's why this is a bridge one. This is a bridge movie.
But that's just an excuse for a movie. It's not good, man.
But they know they're going to make millions of dollars, so.
Yeah, but also tarnish the reputation of the last one. Because it's like...
Yeah, that's true.
What if the next one is like even better than the first one? And then it's like, oh, dude, so good. But that middle one, like that's all anybody's ever going to say.
Mm-hmm. But if people understand it, they know that was a bridge movie. And if they've been a fan for a long time, they know that it's just like...
That was the definition of a bridge movie, man. That was literally...
It really was.
I liked maybe like the first 45 minutes, and then once it started getting into
started off strong.
Yeah, with all the flashback stuff, I loved that. It felt like the old 70s movie, and then all of a sudden it just turned into riots are bad. That's like basically the rest of the movie. It's like the whole mob mentality thing.
Spoiler alert, because we're gonna talk about shit like we did the last episode that didn't get.
I feel like it's been out long enough now.
I mean, yeah, that you guys have had almost 2 weeks to watch it, so
if you
shame
don't,
on you for not watching one of the biggest movies out this year,
and probably like the only like real like Halloween themed movie, this year.
Yeah,
that's true.
Exactly. Yeah, because Scream isn't technically Halloween, but that doesn't come out till January, so
yeah. That already tells me it's probably not that good because they usually release the bombers in January, dude. January and February in the film industry is like, as far as like movies that come out is known as like the where movies go to die.
But I feel like a lot of horror movies do come out during that time though.
Exactly, a lot of the bad horror movies though.
Oh well,
because I think the Conjuring movies have always come out during the summer.
Yep. Yeah, those are summer leading into October.
I think Insidious, those have always been summer movies. Paranormal Activity up until like the 4th one was like a summer movie. Speaking of that, did you guys know that another Paranormal Activity movie is out this weekend?
Yeah.
Another one?
Yeah, called Next of Kin.
They've been working on it for a while.
It's a Paramount Plus exclusive, so I'll probably be watching that. Dude, okay. So before I get into this, I gotta mention I am going out of town this weekend. I'm going to visit my sister in Texas, because we were going to visit her for Thanksgiving, but they are moving because my brother-in-law got a new job, and so they're like, it's a big move. Like, we might have to like. Well, flying's expensive, but it turns it into a 2-day trip if we want to go like see them. It takes two days to just drive there.
Wow.
If after they move, and so we're going to go have a Halloween Thanksgiving. We're going to take little man trick or treating, dress up, and cook Thanksgiving dinner. So it's going to be an interesting, probably one of the most interesting Halloweens I've ever had. To be honest,
fun.
But while I'm there, maybe we'll have like a Paranormal Activity movie marathon. That'd be kind of fun because those are really short. They're all like an hour and 20 minutes. Could fly through all of them.
Yeah.
I might skip the one that's like totally like out of left field, like Mexico or something. You guys seen that one?
That's like
the marked ones.
What movies are
the
you
marked
talking
ones.
The marked ones.
Yeah, Paranormal Activity.
The Paranormal. Yeah.
Yeah, the marked ones is like. I don't think it even has
that one
anything.
Was okay.
I don't think it has anything to do with the original storyline, though.
I did 4.
It might have been like
4 kind of did. Yeah.
It might have been a super prequel because the Paranormal Activity 4. That's the one with the babysitter chick, right? Or the
babysitter.
The one. There's one. I think it's the 4th one that has the Xbox Connect thing in it. Remember where like all the dots everywhere, and then they.
That's with the hell's the actress's name?
And then they made another one after that called the Ghost Dimension or something like that.
Yeah, Ghost Dimension.
Yeah, that one was okay. But I think my favorite one's the second one because that's the one where it's like the really rich family's house. And like with the German Shepherd and all that stuff. That one was pretty scary.
Catherine Newton is the one that's in 4. That's what I was thinking of.
But there's one
she
called...
plays in Supernatural.
Oh, that's right. That reminds me we should talk about the Alec Baldwin thing, because one of the guys from Supernatural is I heard a lot of details about that.
Same.
So yeah, that'd be an interesting one to talk about. Yeah. But there was a Paranormal Activity movie called The Marked Ones, and it takes place in like Mexico or something. And that one I feel like was just completely like out of left field. Like I don't think that one's necessary.
It might not have been
watch.
Mexico. It might have actually been the U.S., but in like the ghetto,
like a border town.
Like
in Yuma, Arizona, my hometown. I guess we can. I don't know. Do we want to say anything else about Halloween Kills? Do you have anything else to say about it?
I feel like we talked about it a little bit more last time.
Yeah, so but I think we were just rambling and kind of processing it because we had just watched it.
I would say just like the ending was shocking. The very, very end was shocking. I hated the fact that they all like 1v1'd Michael instead of like, and the fact that nobody shot him in the head.
Yeah,
it's like because obviously we know like they need to continue it to the Halloween ends, but like if that was ever a realistic situation whatsoever, and the whole purpose of it was hunting this fucker down, and evil dies tonight or whatever the fuck they were chanting. It's like, dude, if that were the case, the guy that shot him 7 times or whatever it was, which is crazy in itself, but like you would have went up to him with right to the head and bop, 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 like 1,000,000 times. Like,
yeah,
or somebody would have took an axe and chopped his head off or something.
He definitely
you would have made sure he was dead.
Definitely had straight up like plot armor there. Like it was just 100% plot armor.
And they stab him in the back with his typical, like his main murder weapon, the knife. And he just takes it out of his fucking back and is like, I'm going to kill all of you.
Bro, it made no sense how they kill Michael Myers, right? And then like they just go like smoking and joking, like there's no cops standing there like watching the body or nothing. Like
the cops are still over at the hospital or some shit.
Everybody's just
nobody's
chilling.
Ever made their way over yet? It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Like
I really enjoyed the first 45 minutes, and then it just went off the rails.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like they build up was it Bobby? Because he was the kid that
Tommy.
Jamie Lee Curtis or Tommy. Yeah, it was Laurie Strode babysat in 1978, and now he's all grown up, and she's in the hospital, and he's trying to go and help her, and then he has the worst fucking scene at the end. Literally he's so ready to hit him with this baseball bat, and he just gets fucking annihilated right off the bat. No fight, no. It was just that to me showed how rushed it was.
They show him swinging one-handed with the baseball bat. Like who's
not
swinging?
To mention a bat wouldn't even do shit to Michael Myers anyway. So I don't know why he thought that was like his weapon of choice.
You can knock somebody on their ass with a baseball bat.
Yeah, but it's Michael Myers. Like
I don't think it matters.
He doesn't even feel pain.
If Tommy looked like a pretty big dude, he's a grown ass man. If he swung that shit as hard as he could, I'm pretty sure he could knock Michael Myers on his ass for a second. But but it just the whole movie, you see him with like both hands on the baseball bat, talking about how he's gonna kill Michael Myers, and then that close up is him one-handed swinging it like I don't know, man, like a hammer. I'm like, bro, this is so bad.
Yeah.
Is he supposed to
I didn't like how they all 1v1'd. Because that's not how that would happen.
No, everybody would swarm his ass.
Gang up on him and just beat the living shit out of him. But, I mean, it is Michael Myers. He would still put up a fight. But that's like in the beginning when he takes out the whole fireman team. Like, that would never fucking happen. Those firefighters would have beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah, not one firefighter thought to, like,
firefighters
get in the fire truck. Like, they all just, like, come at him one by one. The best part is...
That whole idea was just dumb.
The guy with, like, the jaws of life, or, like, the saw or whatever... He goes and like tries to like just cut Michael Myers, and Michael Myers just like grabs it and just pushes it onto him, and he's like, "Oh, just getting cut." And I'm like, "Oh, dude."
Yeah, it was not.
I swear that whole scene was just for the poster, because the poster looks badass for the movie. It's like him standing there with a bunch of fire behind him, and he's got like the crowbar thing that the firefighters have.
Well, they also wanted to rack up his kill count. That was like the biggest thing, because everybody always has this, like, I'm in a bunch of horror fan groups on Facebook, and they're always talking about how, Jason is the kill leader. And it's just like them always bitching, Michael should be. He's got more movies and blah, 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 which realistically, I think Jason has more movies, or they're like even now. But there's so many off branches of Halloween, too, different storylines and shit. So
Season of the Witch.
I don't know. It's crazy. Yeah. I don't know. I just think, like I said, it was definitely a bridge movie for sure. And
I just hope the third one makes it worth it.
The ending was very interesting, but it fires everybody up for the third one. So
I just don't know how they can make it that ridiculous, and then in the third one, like, tone it down with the ridiculousness.
Right. Well, it's also too, like, for people that don't understand, like, how Michael could get shot 7 times and shit like that. So, like, this whole premise of this storyline is that every kill that Michael gets, he transcends. So he just like gets stronger and stronger. He's always been human, but they always also hinted at the fact that like the mask gives him like a supernatural sense. Like he's, from hell or whatever the hell it could be, the mask is like pure evil. So that's why he, like, if it ever gets knocked off or whatever, he always puts it back on before he goes on his like killing spree.
I want some
other than the
2018
then. One when he didn't have his mask yet and he had to kill those 2 podcasters or reporters, whatever they were, to get his mask out of their trunk. So, but that's like the whole thing is like every kill he gets, he transcends and just becomes stronger. So like, obviously at the end of the movie, when they ganged up on him, stabbed him in the back, stabbed him a couple times, shot him a couple times, beat the shit out of him. It really didn't do anything to him because he already killed like 30 people in the movie. So it's like, he's just stronger and stronger and stronger. Now you just pissed him off even more on top of that. So
the way you explained about him, like the mask being what like really gives him his power, makes that first scene in the 2018 Halloween make much more sense.
Yep, because he needed to kill those reporters first, because like he knew that they have his mask because they showed it to him or tried to show it to him.
I was talking about literally the opening scene, because like they make such a big deal about when they pull out the mask from the bag.
Yes,
everybody starts losing their shit. And the dogs barking and shit. So that makes more sense.
The evil, the presence. Yep.
That's actually pretty dope.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that as well until Yes, yeah.
That's
they all
cool.
freak out.
Do you think it's going to be a mask thing? Like, it's the mask that's the source of the true evil, or is it the guy itself?
That's the way it looks.
It's a mix of both. It's like they're attracted to each other in a way.
Okay.
Like it's they work hand in hand. Like Michael's always probably been evil. Cause like in the original, like he killed his sister with a clown mask on. So he didn't even have the fucking white mask.
I see.
So it's hard. It's the Halloween story and just how they've always done everything is it's definitely left up to the viewer, just, discretion to figure things out for the most part. But there's always been the talk of like, most of the fans are like, oh, it's like a supernatural sense, like with the mask, and the mask is the evil entity. And all that.
The 2018 one, I was thinking about, I might have watched a video on it or something, but I was thinking about the original Halloween from like what,
1978.
78. And there was a lot of homage played to homage. I think it's homage or homage.
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 Mm-hmm.
But I could see how there's a lot of callbacks in the 2018 one to the original, like when all the patients are out and stuff like that, when they pull up in the car. Because I remember watching the 1978 version, and when was it? Dr. Loomis, dude. When they're like, he's like riding up with this cop, and then they like all of a sudden get to this one like part of the road, and then there's the freaking bus, and all the patients like are walking around. It gives me chills, bro. Like that one scene, because then Dr. Loomis is like, "Oh fuck!" Like he's like, "We're all fucked." He's like,
"Yeah."
Like Michael's out. Like he starts freaking out, dude. I'm like, that's how you like
2018. Yeah.
Ah, but in the 28, I like. But I'm just saying that scene in particular in the 78 one, like just hypes you up, because you're like, oh, bro, like he's freaking out, and like what's so bad, Dr. Loomis really sold that he's like pure evil, and I just don't, I don't get that same like vibe from these ones.
It's like 2018 kind of proved that too, though. Like when he comes out, it's like that was the first time like he ever was really shown. I think that was actually the first time ever in the history of all the films that he killed a kid. He gets in the truck, he's right behind him, he like strangles the kid to death, and he's like maybe 10, maybe 12, somewhere in that range,
something like that. Yeah.
So it was pretty brutal. That just goes to show like Michael's not fucking around, He set the tone with that one. So
I guess I will since we're talking about movies, I'll segue into some Dune talk.
Yeah.
Yes.
So even though we're not going to know what you're talking about.
No, I won't. I'm not going to talk about plot.
Right.
So I have seen a lot of people saying that Dune is a ripoff of Star Wars, and that is ass backwards. So from what I read and what I've seen, Star Wars is heavily influenced by Dune, because Dune was a book series, right? And the original book was considered like the first successful science fiction epic novel like ever.
Right.
Like Dune is kind of what made the science fiction genre what it is today.
Okay.
And so
I'm gonna have to get those books.
Yeah, I want to read the books too now. So like knowing that and then watching this movie, it's like, dude, this is crazy, because up until now they considered this story to be unfilmable. Like they just, nobody knew how it would be possible to take this book and successfully adapt it with how it's supposed to look, the way that the story is structured, because it really throws you into like this intergalactic Game of Thrones type story. Like it's I don't know, like it really, I guess that's the best way to put it. It is like Game of Thrones in that same sense, where there's like houses and stuff, but they're on different planets. So it all has to do with this. There's this hallucinogenic drug called spice that that's also used for like space travel. So it's a really like valuable rare element. And there's this one planet that has it, and it's all sandy, and so that's why they call it Dune. But that's basically like the center of like what's causing all this like war and stuff, is that there's this like natural resource called spice.
I see.
Gotcha.
But
is it more of like in the same way like where Blade Runner was kind of centralized around Ryan Gosling's character? Is that kind of the same story here with Timothée Chalamet, or is it more of like a broader kind of?
I would say it definitely focuses on Timothée Chalamet, but there's so much more going on in this story with like so many different like factions of people and stuff that it's just, I love Blade Runner, but this makes Blade Runner look really slow because there's just not as much going on. Blade Runner is definitely more like slow paced and like long shots, whereas this is like, it just 0 to 100 and it does not stop for 2.5 hours, and then you're just all of a sudden like, it's like you just go off a cliff, like the road just stops, and it's like now you gotta wait till 2023 for the rest of the story. And like the way that the director described it is like the appetizer before the main course. And so if you look at it as a setup movie, it's probably, you guys hear that? Little man
heard something.
Hey, I'm trying to record a podcast. It's one of the best like setup movies I've ever. It just does a really good job of throwing you into this universe and just like leaving you wanting more. It's very, I would say it's very similar to like Fellowship of the Ring, where like Fellowship of the Ring like ends, it's like the real journey hasn't started yet. Like this was just kind of like setting it up. So it's like that, but to me it feels like by the time the movie's over, you're like, holy shit, dude, so much happened. Like so much happened in this fucking story, and like there's so many answers you want, and like what's gonna happen, and like what does this mean, and it's just it's not for dumb people. I'll just go ahead and say it. This movie is not for like people who like just to watch stuff explode and, you know, family and stuff like that. Like it's just not for them.
Family.
This movie's wild.
That's
dude.
a good way to put that.
It's so good though, man, and it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
And it kind of amazes me, like thinking about what I saw, like that they were able to make these things seem like real. Like all of it looks real, you know?
Sure.
Like it's crazy, man. Like,
oh yeah.
It really shows how far CGI has come. Like this is the movie that does it. Like I think
CGI is amazing.
This is gonna probably be the standard.
They do what they do.
This is probably gonna be the new standard when it comes to CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, there's a lot of people saying that it's a ripoff of Star Wars because they don't know where the story Dune came from, and that they tried to make
Dune sounds like it's been around a long time, because I remember people talking about like the books and stuff way back when.
But nobody had ever successfully been able to show what Dune is, and so like it's not really a thing anybody could ever talk about. They were just like, oh, there's these books, and then like.
Well, I think we finally got to that point, like you said, like with CGI and all that shit, to where we can really truly do it now. You know, and really give it its, you know, show for what it's worth. You know. So
there's been three times where they've tried to make this a thing before. They tried to make it in the 70s, and there's a documentary about it called like Sikorsky's Dune or something like that. And it's literally just a documentary talking about how this guy tried to make Dune the movie, and like how much trouble they had trying to do it, and how far they got. They got like halfway into production before they scrapped it, because it was just getting more and more expensive. They built all these sets for it, all this stuff. They were like, this is going to be like an 8-hour movie. Like, there's no way that we could fit all this material into it and do it justice. And like, we spent all this money, so it's going to have to be like 8 hours, or, you know, and they were like, it's not going to happen. So they took all the set pieces and because they spent so much money on it, and they put it in other movies. Guess what other movies they put them in? Star Wars.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Star Wars and Alien. Star Wars and Alien used a bunch of the sets that they made for Dune. So when people say that Star Wars is a ripoff of Dune, it's like so ass backwards. It's not even funny.
Or you mean Dune is a ripoff of Star Wars? You said it backwards.
Right. Whatever. You get what I'm saying? Like it pisses me off because I'm like, dude, like Star Wars probably wouldn't exist if they didn't try to make that fucking movie.
Right. Because
like the story heavily influenced Star Wars as well. They got the same type of like structure of the civilizations where they have like kind of like it like they call the main like a villain in Dune the Emperor.
Oh.
And like the way that they do their military structure and their ceremonies, it all looks like stuff from Star Wars. Because Star Wars straight up took it and made a different story. A simpler story is what they did. They made a very like simple hero's journey type story. And this is like, God damn, I just want to talk about it, but I can't. Yeah. It's just like, once you watch it and you realize like what happened in the story, you're like, holy shit, man. Like, what is going to happen in the next one? Because this is only half the story. Yeah. But I guess they tried to make a mini series, or they tried to make a series, and apparently it was terrible. And then in '84, David Lynch made one. And the issue they had was they tried to fit 5 hours of story into 2 or 3 hours of movie. And so what you got is just this jumbled up mess that you can like look at pictures of them side by side and see that like David Lynch like kind of got there with some of the way stuff looks. Like it kind of looks similar to the new one, but like it just looks so old and clunky, you know, because it's all shitty looking. But as a movie, I've just heard that it's like really hard to watch because it's just so much happening at once, compressed, and then like out of order because they tried to like move stuff around and like add all this. They didn't think that audiences were going to understand the story, so they threw in all these like voiceovers and stuff after the fact, and it just makes the movie really shitty.
Right.
And so the fact, I mean, it makes sense that they decided to split this one into 2 because it's 2.5 hour movies, and they can get the full story, and it's not rushed. But goddamn, I legit cannot think of anything that I don't like about it except the fact that it leaves you hanging.
Yeah.
But the only reason why people were like, that sucks, is because if the second one was never going to get made, it's cinematic blue balls, you know? Like, you're just...
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. But now that we know that the second one's officially coming, it's like, God damn, I can't wait. 2023, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, so I know, because I listened to the last podcast on the left. I remember that one of the guys on there was talking about Dune all the time and was, heavily anticipating it coming out. And they're, even older than we are. So they were just talking about getting hype. And I was like, damn, so this must be, a pretty crazy film or, concept.
Nope. Like,
how are their reactions to it?
I haven't listened to an updated podcast episode yet to know what they thought of it, but I'm sure they've talked about it for sure by now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd be curious to hear what they say, but I want to watch it first so that way I can, if they have spoilers, which I'm sure they will, then I can hear what their thoughts were.
Like I said, I would like if there's one movie that you like if there was one movie that you had that you could watch at the theater, this is it.
Yeah.
It's just go see it on the biggest screen you can. It's so fucking beautiful, man. It's just it is an epic. There's no other way to explain it. You just got to see it to understand it. And it's so weird and foreign seeming because it's supposed to make you feel like you're in a completely different universe, Yeah. And it does it so well. Hans Zimmer did the score for it. So
how was that?
Dude, it's definitely one of his best works. Oh yeah. Visually, the visuals and the sound alone are 10 out of 10. And then the story itself, with how hard it was to fit it all in and like get rid of certain things, but still keep the whole story and everything. Like I think they did the best they could.
Part to do,
but
especially if it's based off a book.
I don't think anybody else could have done it better.
Yeah. So
well,
that's awesome. At least they killed it. You know?
I really want to know what you think, Kyle, because like you're like me, where like you like hadn't really ever heard of it. You know?
Yeah.
Yep. So I don't know how much Jeannie knows about the story or anything, but I went into it with like a clean slate, like open mind, you know. But it's a goddamn masterpiece. Hey everybody, just wanted to stop for a little second and let you know that this podcast is now on Spotify and it should be on Apple Podcasts very soon. And considering that you made it this far to the podcast, I'm just going to assume you like it. And so if you want us to keep doing this podcast, please consider going and dropping a good review for us over on Spotify, and I'll let you guys know when it's available on Apple Podcasts as well. All right, now back to me rambling about movies. What are you guys' plan for Halloween? And Jeannie, you leaning back like that is like you're like disappearing.
Oh. Hold on.
Oh no. Gotta put that shit in support mode, not chillax mode.
Kyle, what are you doing for Halloween?
So Friday we set up for my buddy's wedding, and then Saturday is the wedding, so that's Devil's Night or whatever you want, the 30th. And I'm one of the best mans in the wedding. He's actually having two. Most people just have one, but it's me and my buddy Tyler, who I'm actually staying at his house right now.
Nice.
And then Sunday, I think we're just going to be recovering, really. So Halloween, but we might do something. We actually are planning here either tomorrow night or Thursday night. We all want to go. There's a bunch of actual haunted places here in Michigan that are close to us. There's one called Morrow Road, which my buddy Tyler, he had like quite the experience at, like a really terrifying experience. And he like, even to this day, he did that like maybe 7-8 years ago. He doesn't even want to go back. And I'm like, and he's like almost 30 years old now. We both are. So like, I'm trying to force him to go. So we want to check that. And then there's a bridge that's in Bloomfield Hills, which is like maybe 30 minutes from where we're at here. And, it was a bridge where like a lot of wealthy people live in Bloomfield Hills. Like it's a lot of $1 million houses and stuff. Like Matthew Stafford, the quarterback for the Lions, who's now the quarterback for the Rams, he had a house in Bloomfield Hills. So it's like a lot of millionaires and shit like that. And I guess the story is that, well, it's not really a story, it's fact, but there was a rich kid that like made a hole through this fence, and there's a bridge and right underneath the bridge was a train. And he committed suicide and went off the bridge. Well, a lot of his other rich friends found out about this and kind of followed suit. It was a really weird scenario, but they all planned everything and like, committed suicide or whatever on the bridge, but they timed it to where they did it before the train came, and the train ran them all over. So now, because that happened, the train actually doesn't even run through those tracks anymore. And the bridge is obviously supposedly haunted. The train tracks are haunted, all that stuff. And my buddy had went there before. Tyler, again, he used to go to all the paranormal stuff too. And they had people. They didn't have people because they looked around everywhere, couldn't find anyone. But while they were leaving, the only thing that happened was somebody started throwing rocks. And they couldn't find out who it was. They didn't hear anybody, see anybody else there. And so they started like just running because it started being like a couple rocks were getting thrown at a time.
Yeah.
So that was another one. And we have another one on the list that's like an old farmhouse that has quite the story to it too. That one's more in depth, so I'm not going to go too much into that. But I'm trying to film a bunch of YouTube videos while I'm here. So
I just got an idea.
Yeah.
We should plan a trip for next year, maybe around like October. Where we do an in-person episode of the podcast, but we also go to like some haunted place, and like I could film it all like vlog style.
Yeah,
that would be so much fun. Yeah. The three of us, like, in some haunted place. I'm like, come on, demons! I'm like, fill my body. Come on, demons! I challenge you. Just like talk a bunch of shit. I don't know if you
want to be doing all that, but
I don't believe it, dude.
Just because you don't believe in it don't mean it's real. Not real.
I'm saying I don't think it's real.
So, well, I'd be funny you say that. So my plan is next year because the housing market is so screwed.
I'll bring a Ouija board.
I would like to get out of my parents' house, even though I've only been back with them for a year. I was like never lived with them since I was 17. I like went out on my own in college and shit. But when I moved back to Florida, I had to move in with them. And I was like, I want to get out of this. And unfortunately, the market is so bad in Florida that I can't really afford a house. So my thought was buying an RV and being able to go wherever I want. Now that I work for Danny, I kind of have that luxury to be able to work anywhere I want. So my thought was traveling, and I really want to do the YouTube stuff because I've always wanted to do that. But I love the paranormal shit. So I've always wanted to have a paranormal YouTube related channel and do like the stuff like people that might know what I'm talking about. It's like Sam and Colby. They're big YouTubers. People might know. TFIL also is friends with Sam and Colby. Like they do a lot of like overnights at like they did the Conjuring House and Queen Mary. And like they've done the catacombs in Paris. They've done everything.
We could like make it
is my dream.
We can make it like an annual tradition where we go to some haunted place and like stay the night.
That would be sick. I would like to have you guys just as guests in the videos just come out and like we go to a couple different locations.
Dude, we could all film our own shit
throughout the year.
and then we could all film our own like vlog style part of it, you know?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, you guys could film more of like a vlog perspective from your guys' point of views, and then mine will be more of like the real. Like I wanted to set mine up almost as like Ghost Adventures. I'm getting equipment and like everything.
Danny Dorito gets possessed.
Yeah. The Cool Ranch Witch Project.
I think it'll be awesome. That'd be a really cool experience. So since you guys are over on the West Coast, the Queen Mary is over there, and unfortunately right now they don't know if they're going to be able to save it. I guess it's got a lot of damage and it might actually sink into the harbor.
Danny Dorito stays on the sinking Queen Mary.
I feel like it would be so funny to shoot like
the thumbnail's like
video.
A possession video. The thumbnail's like me with a life jacket on, like freaking out.
Well, California has a lot of the scariest places, I think. Well, some of them. There's they got the Cecil Hotel, which that documentary was based off of too. Where they found Lisa Lamb's body in the water thing. That's the Cecil. Dude. Then you have the Queen Mary. There's another haunted hotel that's there somewhere. I can't remember. But it's like all, Sam and Colby and all of them have been to like all of them that are over there. But you guys are over on that side. I'm sure there's stuff in New Mexico as well that we could find.
Yeah, I would like that would be a cool way to like travel and vlog and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, there's so many locations all over the United States that's like I have a list of like a mile long of places I want to go.
We can make it a tradition and do this like every year, a different place.
Dude, we should definitely work on because we got to build up like our audience and stuff too. Well, I need to build up more so my audience, but with the paranormal stuff. But we should definitely book the Conjuring House.
Oh hell no! I don't know about that one.
Oh, I thought you didn't believe in it, bud.
That movie scares me.
You know how like they have like when they get possessed, they start coughing shit up.
Place.
Yeah.
We should do one where Danny is like possessed. Imagine he starts like coughing up Cheetos and like spitting them out.
Dude, that'd be
hilarious.
Make like a parody video. So
yeah.
So funny.
I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of that shit's just in your head. Like, if you think a place is like super fucking haunted, then every little like creak in the house is all of a sudden a ghost. You know what I mean? Like, you just start getting in your own head. You gotta
be realistic. That's the thing, though. When I go and do stuff, like I went to Maggie's Bridge in Delaware. That's on my vlog channel. Well, it's on Kinger's World. I went to that in Delaware with like 8 friends. And like we sat and listened for a long time. We would all just like nobody made a fucking sound, and we all just sat there in the dark. And it's eerie. It's in the middle of nowhere too. Like it's.
I could just picture it, man. It's gonna be like me, like just making really bad jokes, and like Jeannie like laughing, and then Kyle's like, "Shut up, guys! I think I heard something."
It'll be a good time though. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I think we should definitely plan that.
Hell yeah. And like I said, I'll have the RV, so everybody just board up on the RV and go wherever we got to go.
Dude,
Ooh,
this
that's
sounds
incredible.
Sounds perfect, man.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it big time. That's something that's like my dream. And it's finally a thing that I think I can do.
Yeah,
just
dude.
given
that's
the
awesome.
job I have now and everything else. So it'll be a lot of fun.
I already told Kyle, like, if I, well, I guess I can go ahead and talk about this real quick. I got one of the guys that I go to acting class with, referred me to his agent, so I might have a talent agent soon. And when you get a talent agent, like, those talent agents are the ones that are able to get those auditions that, like, people who don't have an agent can't find online.
Help a lot more.
Right.
So
it's having your upper hand.
Yeah,
for sure.
If I have a talent agent and I start getting like tons of roles and stuff, hopefully I'll be able to give Kyle a raise. So,
which will help with the travels.
Yeah. Kyle's gonna be like,
all the gas in the RV.
Kyle's gonna be like, I'm stuck over here. I ran out of money.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man,
I gotta make content.
The way these gas prices are. Shit.
I gotta make content just to get to the next town.
Well, I thought what would be cool is that I'm going to be making content along the way for TikTok and YouTube. So hopefully eventually that'll also be a form of income for me. But also I'm going to go like every month, make it a thing to get to another place. So that way I'm there for a whole month and I can set up at like a campground or whatever, pay for like a month's rent or whatever. Then I'm in that area and I'll have my car towed behind the RV. So then I can go to any location throughout that state or whatever with my car. And then just be good to go to all the locations I want to, plan it out to where I can hit a few within, like, you know, if I park at a campground and I have like 3 different haunted locations I could go to, cool. You know, and then I just go each day or whatever, every few days to a different one. But that way I save money though too. Like I'm not just constantly traveling, blowing through money. You know, I wait a month and I get paid again and go to the next place, or wait another month and go to another place. So trying to just map everything out and do it smart. So that way I can still pay for everything.
If I was a single guy and I was like, screw it, I'm just going to go travel, I would totally do the same thing, man. I would totally get like, I'd just not have an apartment or a house. I'd go get an RV, just drive around with a dog or something, you know?
I got my cat, but yeah, I would probably get a dog too, but we'll see. Cause that's really a lot of work with when you're trying to go out and film content and shit, have to worry about a dog too. So plus if I have people get on the bus or on the RV too.
So I got a new idea for TikTok. I've been posting. I used to post 5 or 6 times a day.
Yeah.
And then something changed with the TikTok algorithm, and those videos just fight way fucking more to be on the For You page now. Like they hurt each other. And so, as somebody who posted that much, I went down to about 3 to 4 times a day, and that's what I've been doing. And it's happening again, where it feels like they're really fighting each other. And like now, it seems like your video either blows up right away, or it does absolutely god awful, and it just struggles to get views. I have one that I posted. This I can't remember the last time this has happened to me with a TikTok video. Like, I would say I can't remember the last time it's happened since I hit like 2 million followers, where a video that I've posted hasn't hit 100K in like the first 3 days. And I have one video that I posted the other day that has been on here for 4.5 days, and it's still only at 78K.
Wow.
It's still getting views, and it's like as my other videos pop off, like it gets more views. And like I did notice that if I pin my videos to the top of my profile that are struggling, they get more views. So I've been using that.
Because it's the first thing that they see when you go to your page. The algorithm is changing all the time though on TikTok, I've noticed and heard.
Yeah, it's just gotten so much more aggressive.
Unfortunate.
But I posted.
Everybody's trying to do it, so that's you know, they got to start ruling out a way to like manage I'm sure it's got to be very chaotic for TikTok to figure how to get everybody's content out there properly.
I think they're also trying to make sure that the creator fund lasts until they can implement this new ad system. Because
I heard that's supposed to be coming soon. Like more money in that's supposed to be coming soon.
More money. they're supposed to pay creators more.
Yeah.
Like the CPM supposed to go up.
Kidding? Like,
yeah, dude, if the CPM
TikTok is the new YouTube.
I'll tell you right now, if the CPM doubled, like if they started paying double what they do, like I would be doing as good as I was before the algorithm really like shifted like 3 or 4 months ago. Or like,
what do you mean by CPM?
I mean that's like a YouTube term, I guess, right? Like clicks per mile. But like
clicks per minute.
Clicks per minute, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's basically how they
I think
judge how much you get paid. So like I used to make literally hundreds of dollars a day at one point posting TikToks. And now like if I hit $100, I'm like, holy shit, that was a good day. Like right now it's somewhere around like 30 to, I think the most I've seen this month is like $72 on one day.
Oh,
the TikToks
cost per impression. Sorry.
Cost per impression.
Yeah, it's per 1,000 impressions you get paid a certain amount on YouTube.
There you go. That's
and
the
that
term.
varies depending on the creator.
Yeah.
And if you're in Google preferred.
I posted that one that I did today, which is because this is probably going to be out in a day or two. I am trying to get the Disney vlog up tomorrow. I am so behind on the Disney vlog. It's not even funny. I've been so busy.
It's a lot of content.
People are probably like, "Where the fuck is it?" Because I got part 2 out so quick, man. Because I legit had like a day and a half to just focus on that.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had that kind of time.
Realistically, you should have probably sent me part 3 while you worked on 2. In hindsight,
it's fine. I think if it's a family vlog, like if it's not just me traveling by myself, it does kind of have like a private, personal feel to it, and so that's why I feel like those benefit more from me doing it myself. But like if it was me vlogging, going to do the like I plan on doing a vlog to go when me and Jeannie film the short film. I'm gonna vlog that. That's something that I would totally be cool with, like sending to you to edit if you wanted. But as much as you might not like hearing it, Kyle, it really is like a huge help for you to handle the G Fuel reviews, because that's what I do the most.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know.
Yeah. I don't mind it. I mean,
you've pretty much got it down to the science, I feel like. So.
Oh yeah. I have a pretty set way of going about the G Fuel videos. Like I have like a routine now. I'll trim everything down first, know what I'm working with, and then I go through and add the spice. This is the way I like to call it.
Yeah, the spice. Nice. Yeah, I'm just gonna add some spice to it. I'm like, all right, cool. That means he's like probably like halfway done or something. You know, like he's just gonna add that stuff, and then I feel like the hardest part is uploading it back and forth, because it takes like an hour.
Yeah, I wish they would come up with a faster way to do that.
They do. It's called faster internet, and the U.S. sucks ass at internet speeds.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I'm a little bit concerned with having the RV, is like having a solid connection all the time. Like if the campgrounds, I got to go to make sure that the campgrounds are like solid Wi-Fi, or I'm going to have to find a way to rig up a system into my RV.
Yeah.
To where I always have internet. Because I mean, you can have internet in trucks and stuff. Like that shit comes pre-installed, like has their own like
I feel like that'd be the best route,
signal and shit.
Because then it's just going to turn into making sure that you're in a good area to get signal.
Yep.
And exactly. That's a lot easier than having to find a place to upload.
And I would like to have my own private.
Yeah, of course.
Network.
But I posted the one that is little man eating Cheetos, and then me saying that I'm going to get milk and not coming back. That one is legit blowing up right now. Like every time I refresh it, it's up.
Funny as hell.
Like 500
That's
views.
a good one.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna try is just letting that be the only one I post today, and seeing how well it does. If like maybe only posting that one allows it to just flood the For You page.
Yeah.
Because there's only been a few times, and it's usually been times where I was super busy and I just couldn't make TikToks, that I've posted just one. And so, I mean, right now it looks like it's on track to get more views than all 4 of the videos that I posted yesterday.
Wow. Combined all 4 of those videos? That's crazy.
And so it's like, if I have a video like that pop off, I should like use that video to kind of alleviate some stress of like making a shit ton of TikToks because I've already got three. I've already got 3 pre-made right now, like ready to go.
Yeah, I need to start filming some damn TikToks while I'm in Michigan.
But I'm gonna
film if we go to the haunted locations for sure. I'm gonna post some stuff. Well, we are going to the haunted locations.
Those TikToks would be fun too, man.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah, they're gonna be sweet.
Dude, if I went live on TikTok, holy shit,
that would be amazing. People do that all the time for haunted locations too.
I could show the live in the vlog and stuff. That'd be so crazy. Everything would be like intersecting.
Yeah. Plus having all of us together, that'd be sick.
Streaming on Twitch as well.
Yeah. Right. I've always wanted to do in real life streams, so that'd be cool. Yeah.
It would be interesting.
Jeannie, I have I'm curious because you had said it earlier, kind of going back, but you said you went to Halloween Horror Nights.
I did, yeah.
How was it this year? Because what were the ones based? I don't know if it's different between California and Florida if they do the different. Because I believe it was Haunting of Hill House. And what other Halloween Kills? I think might have been an attraction. Maybe I might be wrong. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre was another one for Orlando or Leatherface.
Yeah, they had
more so than Texas.
They had Bride of Frankenstein or some kind of Frankenstein, and then they had Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween Kills, Haunting of Hill House, and then there was another one that was like a Netflix show that was like.
Wasn't Bly Manor as well? They didn't do both of those, did they?
No, it was Hill House.
Okay.
I tried to watch that show, by the way, and I just couldn't get into it.
Oh, you gotta get. That's a good one. You gotta get into that one.
Which one, Hill House or Bly Manor?
Both are good.
Which one's better?
They both start out, I think, slow.
I heard everybody talk about Haunting a Hill House, and then Bly Manor just seemed like everybody was kind of eh.
Yeah, Hill House was a more popular one.
Bly Manor was interesting though too. That one was wild. That was a roller coaster. I don't know. I think they're both good in their own regard.
I don't know. I've tried watching American Horror Story as well, and I just
it's so good, dude. The last season was sick. Not the one that's on right now, but the one where they're at the camp.
Oh, yeah, I do want to watch that one.
That one's really good. I've watched that twice now.
I think you know what? Good. I think I am just burnt out on the whole like people staying in a creepy house and then weird shit starts happening. And so every time I've tried to watch that first season of American Horror Story, it's just like, God damn, this is boring.
So good though. That's so different. That's way different.
But dude, I've heard so many people spoil like, oh, the guy in the leather or whatever like has sex with her and she thinks it's the husband or whatever. I'm like, okay.
Oh well, that's not a huge spoiler, but. Yeah, you gotta watch that. That shit's fucking American Horror Story is insane. Like
there's certain seasons I want to watch.
Genuinely do a good job.
Do they have a season that's like just about aliens? Because I like that shit.
Is it the Roanoke one? Season 6?
No. Oh, dude, Roanoke's amazing. No, that's about dude, they're all in like a TV show or something, but it all goes to shit, and they all are actually like dying. It's dude,
that sounds cool.
That one's fucking sick.
I definitely
you would
actually
actually like that
one
because it's about like movie and shit, like a film crew and shit.
Okay, Kyle, rank all the seasons, both of you, and then send me the list, and I want to see what you guys think, and then determine which one to watch first.
The only two I haven't finished was Freak Show and the hotel one.
I have tried to watch Freak Show. I tried to watch that one. And my thing was like, I don't know. It just wasn't exciting me. And it was just kind of like going for that creepy clown factor. And I was just like,
yeah, that's too much.
Roanoke is definitely up there.
My wife said my wife said she tried to watch the hotel one and she didn't like Lady Gaga or something.
Yeah, well, the first within the first 2 episodes, some dude getting freaking pegged with what the hell was it? Like a screwdriver or some shit.
Jesus.
Dude, it's fucked. It's literally horrible. I was like, what is going on? Like, I literally was like,
they try to go for shock value.
It was majorly shock value. Yeah. No, it was brutal.
I definitely want to watch the camp one. I don't know why, but dude, something about
camp one's great.
something about like I plan on doing a top 10 movies of 2021 video, and maybe even a top 10 worst ones.
People love that shit.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that, and I think the Fear Street trilogy, I'm gonna count it as one movie.
Ooh,
I think that's definitely on my list.
Yes. That was for what
so
it was, and like the smaller fucking production team that was behind that, they did really well.
Dude,
they've done better than a lot of horror movies.
On Rotten Tomatoes, they have like solid like 80s, and I think one of them even has like a 90%.
Yeah. Good for them. That's fucking awesome.
I hope whoever
did good.
I hope whoever made those movies gets like another deal with Netflix and makes something else, because I really liked the style that they went for and the feel, and the pacing was good. I never got bored.
Yep. Nope. I've literally went through that series like 3 times now. The
second one, really? The second one where like when the killing's happening and they're at the camp like all hiding and shit, that's such a vibe. Yep. That's what makes me want to watch the 1984 American Horror Story season.
Which one's that?
That's the one that you were talking about, where it's the 80s, one, right? The camp one.
Oh yes, dude. Oh my god, that is so good. I literally just watched it again not last week, but the week prior. I went on vacation.
I've been on the set of one of those one of those seasons, one of the newer ones. Yeah, I've been on the set because I went and shadowed a sound guy that was friends with one of my buddies in the military on that that Fox show, the last boat. I can't remember what it's called.
The Last Boat, or Last Ship, maybe.
I can't remember.
It's about TNT one.
No, it's like a 90s. It's set in the 90s. It's like a Asian American family. Last Off the Boat, I think is what it's called. I think that's what it's called. Last Off the Boat. Anyways, it's like a sitcom, right? And during like lunch, he was like showing me around, and there was like an American Horror Story like part of the studio lot that we walked through, and there was some jail set. It was supposed to be like a jail or a prison or something, right? And so he's like, look down this corridor. And so like I look, and like you got to remember, like the ceilings are gone. Like it's literally just like open rooms, like no ceilings. Right. And so like I like look down this hall, and it looks like a jail. And then I move one other way, and you could see all like the wood and all the background stuff and all that. It was so trippy, man. Cause like it was like just where the camera was supposed to be for this shot, it looked just like a prison. And if you moved like 1 foot over, all of a sudden you can see the rest of the back of the set, and it it looks like a set. It was just really trippy. But I walked down there, and one of the cells had like a bunch of like pagan stuff and like blood written everywhere, and it was really cool seeing that.
Oh yeah.
That was like 2 years ago. So whatever season they were doing then.
I
have no idea. I think it was
trying to think. Maybe the cult one.
I think so. That would make sense.
Cult.
That would make the symbols make sense.
Yep.
But that was really neat.
Cult one. Yeah. Yeah, it's a really good TV show all around.
I think I'm gonna watch I think I'm just gonna say YOLO and watch the 1984
the camp
season
one tonight.
I don't know about tonight.
I would do that. I would do it before the next podcast so we could talk about it. That'd be sick.
I'll try.
Because it's fresh in my head too now, because I just seen it again.
We're gonna have to do the next episode on Wednesday, because I'll be coming back on Tuesday, and then
that's perfect.
I have acting class, and then that acting class on that Tuesday, that's the last day of that one, and then I start another one Thursday, so it's gonna be Thursdays now instead of Tuesdays that I'm gone for acting class. But I didn't stream yesterday, and I didn't stream today because yesterday I was super goddamn busy. And then I had to go, well, I didn't have to, but I went and practiced the scene that I'm doing for acting class tonight with my scene partner. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just not going to stream because it's just going to be a short-ass stream. And then, like, I don't know, whenever I do a really short one, it just kind of feels like it's just like, I don't know. I'm just kind of leaving everybody hanging because I'm like, all right, like I'm here for like, an hour, and then boom, bye.
Yeah.
So like I plan on doing like a 2-hour Fortnite stream tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
So, but no stream today because of class, and I'm trying to get this vlog. I'm trying to get, my goal is to have this part 3 of the vlog go up tomorrow, and I'm gonna bust ass and try to get part 4 done so that when I leave on Saturday, it'll go up on Halloween. And then I think I would like to get the Brain Matter video out the day before that. But I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, after this, that's what I'm gonna be working on is Brain Matter.
And that one I think is only like 13 minutes of footage or something.
It's not long. It was like 9.5 gigs. So yeah, I would estimate 12, 13 minutes.
And dude, like my energy in that one was like up there. So
bow, 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 bow. Zooming through.
So hopefully that one is just as good, if not better than the candy corn one.
Right.
I just liked how that one flowed, and I didn't repeat myself a million times.
Yeah. Yeah,
it definitely helps.
You knew what you needed to say for sure. It definitely helps. Yeah.
But okay, yeah, I'll try and I gotta finish Ted Lasso. That show's goddamn amazing. If you haven't watched that, the acting and the story and all that stuff. Jeannie, like, stop going to movies to watch foreign, like Russian indie pictures, and catch up on some mainstream shit so we could talk about it.
I know. I am trying to give that one show a shot. I watched an episode and a half of it, which is big for me. That
what show?
Only Murders in the Building.
Oh, how is that?
Gomez. The first episode was good. I was like, okay, this is fine. And then the second episode, I was like falling asleep, and I stopped watching halfway through. But like,
okay, so just turn it off and watch Dune. Go watch Dune.
I was just messaging my roommate. Yeah, we're gonna watch it tonight.
Hell yeah, so, IMAX.
He's like, I don't know if I want to pay for it, man, because some people are saying it's not good.
Bro, tell them the people who are saying it's not good are freaking popcorn eaters. That's all they do.
I love
they just yeah, but
eaters.
They just sit there and eat popcorn and like, oh, I'm out of popcorn. They get more, and they like more explosions. That's what they do.
Yeah. more explosions.
Cargo boom. Family.
I ate a lot of popcorn with my Russian cinema, though. I gotta say that. That's and I never leave. There was actually
tell him if he doesn't like it, you'll pay for it, and then when he's like, I didn't like it, you just go, you're lying, motherfucker.
No, I want to see it in IMAX. My biggest regret of when Blade Runner 2049 was out was seeing it in a regular theater, and I was just like, that was like the first and I think only time I've ever seen a movie where I was like, wow, I would go back to go see that in IMAX, and it would be worlds different.
I would go watch it again. That's how good it was.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, dude, if you have to go by yourself, go by yourself, because that's one of those movies where like the auditorium was just dead quiet the whole time. Everybody was just sucked in, and then dude, when the movie ended, it was just dead quiet, and everybody sat there for a minute and just like kind of like processed what the fuck they just watched.
Processed everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy, dude.
I like those kind of movies.
It was so quiet when the movie was over. Everybody's just sitting there like, Jesus Christ.
Wow.
I heard one guy, he's like, they might not make a second one. He's like, all pissed. He's like,
right.
He was like looking at his phone. What?
That's funny as hell. Leave you on a cliffhanger. That'd be fucked.
No, I'm so happy the second one's already greenlit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I hope more people will be like, okay, then it is worth going to see. Like, and word of mouth will be like, yo, go see it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, I would honestly be down to when the second one comes out, like if they do one of those double feature things where you can go watch the first one and then the second one, I would love to do it for that. I did that for The Dark Knight Rises. I saw all three in one day at the theater.
Holy my.
It was so badass. I was there for like 9 hours.
That's an experience.
Just watching Batman, Christian Bale. Where are they? I was like, fuck yeah. Everybody, and you know, those are the super fans too that go see that. So the energy is just like,
I think
that's worth the price of the ticket.
Rings.
I think it was like $30 and you got like 2 free popcorns or something. It was pretty dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like it was all super fans. So like everybody was just super enthusiastic. I mean, like you see, what's his face? Commissioner Gordon like show up after you think he died, and everybody's like, Like, you know,
Yeah.
like, and it's like, bro, you've probably seen this movie like 30 times.
Yeah.
You know, like, but like
That's funny as
everybody's
hell.
just like losing their mind.
That's
so
awesome.
funny.
Yeah, so I would love to like experience like a crowd like that for Dune.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and I think if it would be really interesting if they do stick to the same runtime and it's just like a solid 5 hours, like total, like on the dot. Because this one was 2 hours and 35 minutes, and I think it was like 5 minutes of credits. So
Right.
yeah, you guys got to watch it.
Hell yeah.
That
I will definitely be checking it
I
out.
will see it.
I will try to watch American Horror Story. I will legitimately try.
You need to watch that season. At least that season. You could get through it.
Yeah,
for sure.
but you got I try really hard not to sit down and watch a shit ton of TV in like one sitting, because then I just like feel like I didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I have to sit there and like tell myself like it's okay, you deserve a break.
You're doing it for research and a break.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm doing it for
That's me with-
research and like keeping myself
Gives us
from like
something to talk
snapping.
about on the podcast.
Yeah, dude. Like I like lost my shit today because I was trying to find paperwork that the bank needs for my business account, like to update stuff. And I was like, I don't know where anything is. I was like, I don't know where stuff is. I like start freaking out, like looking everywhere. And then my wife's like, it's right here. And I'm like, oh my God.
Right.
Like the stress got to me, man.
Panicking. Oh yeah, it happens
Yeah.
every now and then. Just gotta learn how to get it back under control.
Yeah. Nah, I chilled out. I went and made some taquitos from Costco, and then sat down and started watching. I was like, wait a minute, if I got HBO Max, if I want to watch Dune right now, I can just turn it on and start watching it. And so like me and my wife, like sat down and ate lunch, and we were watching it again, but with subtitles, because they say so much in this movie that like you don't have time to process everything they say. In some moments.
That's got to be one you watch a few times.
Oh yeah, dude. But like I was sitting there eating taquitos, like just watching it. Me and my wife were just like dead quiet watching it again, because it's like, you know, we're picking up things that we didn't see the first time. And like I'm sitting there, I'm like, God damn, this is a good movie. And my wife's like, I know. Like she's like I know. My parents, dude. When I talked to my parents, I was like, I haven't watched it yet. And my dad's like, I saw it, I watched it, and I was like, yeah, he was like, it was decent. And my dad, like, legit, every movie is all right or it sucks. And so he said it was decent. And I was like, oh, it must be good then.
All right. That's funny.
And so, like, I finished watching it. And then I texted my mom. I was like, I loved it. And my mom was like, yeah, me and your dad knew you were going to love that movie. I was like, yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's so cool.
It's like, this is the shit I nerd out about. So when something this good comes out, it's like all I can think about, man.
Right. Well, you got a passion with cinematography and how all like the movie stuff works too. So that's clear,
I appreciate a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. More than the average Joe, you know.
Yeah, but like because it's this director has a way of doing stuff that's like blockbuster level big, you know, but adding like a art house style to it. And I mean, ask Genie, like he'll like recommend movies that are like super artsy, and I'm just like, I couldn't get into it. Like I'm not that artsy, but I like when they're able to blend a blockbuster and that art feel together.
Yep.
So that like, because then the average moviegoer has a better chance of watching it and like understanding and appreciating something for other than like oh, the movie star or the amount of explosions or the crazy twist, you know, like it's like, no, like the movie itself is just beautiful to look at. Like it just I don't know, man. I could talk about it forever.
The guy's got a very mature approach to like storytelling, I feel like. And it's very like requires an active viewing.
Anytime something weird happens, you know, like because art style movies are always, there's like weird things and you're like, what the fuck was that about, you know?
Yeah.
Like some odd story element or something, you know, and you're like, what? Him and his sister or something, you know? Like, you're like, what the hell? Anytime this movie had like a moment where you were kind of like, whoa, that's weird, it was like already over. Like it's like it was just a little like hint of like kind of like open your mind, you know, like like
sure.
concepts that you've never thought of, or like it's not really a spoiler. There's a scene where like it cuts to a different planet or whatever, and I think it's a scene with the Emperor, and there's this weird ass creature that's like a pet. And when I saw it for the first time, I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck is that?" You know, I was like, and then it just like waddles away, and I'm like, "Dude, like that's some Star Wars shit, but like realistic, you know? Like it's so weird, man. Like this legitimately makes me like Star Wars less because it makes me feel like Star Wars is shallow as a story. You know what I mean? You ever heard that saying? Wide as an ocean, deep as a puddle. Like they use that to describe video games sometimes, like open world games. They'll be like, "Oh, it's massive, but there's like nothing in it." You know, it's just pretty to look at. And I feel like Star Wars is kind of like that. They make it seem like this massive universe, but then they always show Tatooine. Like it's always the same fucking planets, and like they never like explore new things. That's why Mandalorian's popular, because it's doing different shit. You know?
Yeah.
And so like, besides the original Star Wars trilogy and then like Mandalorian, I'm just like, Star Wars is whatever, man. And like they're supposed to do a spin-off series of Dune called like Dune the Sisterhood or something like that on HBO. And after watching this movie, I was like, I don't know what the fuck that is, but I'm interested because this universe is cool. And like this movie has only shown you like I said, just a little bit, you know? But like it makes it feel like it's so big and there's all these books and like this is just the first one. You know? Or like the first trilogy or something. So I'm just blown away by this damn movie, dude. And I don't want to I know I've hyped it up a lot, so I hope you guys like it as much as I did, or at least appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm hyped. I'm really
I can't wait to talk I can't wait to talk about like the story and spoilers.
Sure. Yeah. If it's anything like Blade Runner, then
dude, Genie, I'll tell you what, dude, it has that same exact feel. It feels like Blade Runner, just more going on in a different place, different world.
Okay.
But it like Blade Runner is the only thing you could really compare it to, like story and narrative wise.
Sure. Yeah.
Style wise, whatever you want to say. Like those movies feel like they're made by the same person. So. Yeah. One last thing. Kyle mentioned to me that he watched Donnie Darko, and I think I mentioned it in the podcast that got deleted because of the sound, but I told him that he should watch it because it's a very interesting movie. Jeannie, you've seen Donnie Darko, right?
No.
How have you not? I thought you said you had. How have you not seen Donnie Darko? That's like right up your alley, dude. That's like weird and like metaphorical and shit.
Yeah, I know it's like the kid with like the rabbit suit and all that, and I know like the images and stuff from it, but I just haven't like.
So Kyle,
too hard.
What was your experience with Donnie Darko?
I gotta be honest. In the very beginning, I was like very, very tempted to turn it off and just call it quits. It's very, very boring.
It's kind of off-putting, right?
It's like very off-putting.
Yeah.
How, like I'm like,
it's a depressing movie. It's a depressing movie.
It is. And it's there's like not a whole lot of like action or anything like that or like scary moments. It's just really like real shit.
And like
for the
eerie.
most part.
It's kind of eerie.
It's eerie. And you think like the whole time that he's the villain, but really like he's the good guy and he's trying to like save everybody, because my understanding is that he could travel throughout his dreams?
It's time travel.
Or time travel in general? I couldn't remember but was dreams tied into that at all? I couldn't remember.
Yeah, so like I believe when he's time traveling, it's kind of shown like a dream sequence.
Yeah.
Or like the basically the dead kid in the rabbit costume, it basically is the one that explains to him how it all works, like and tells
Jacob
him
or something.
Yeah, he tells him like you gotta do this to like keep the timeline from collapsing or some shit. There's a director's cut that everybody in the film community hates because it basically spoon feeds you the answer to what the whole point is. But like the whole point of the movie is that you're supposed to be confused, and then once you go online and look up like this book, and I can't remember what it's called, But the book literally explains everything. The whole movie makes sense after you like learn about this book. And in the director's cut, it shows the book and like him reading it and stuff, and it just kind of ruins it. It's not as interesting if you have the answer right away. But
that's Keenan's.
Fuck.
Oh,
what was that?
Old Mr. Scrooge out here, just coming in. Somebody left water in their room, and he's like, "That was left in my room." I was like, "That's fucking dumb."
Yeah, so I thought it was just cool that he, like, in the end, you think the whole time you think he's like the villain. That's how they paint him out to be, this like douchebag, piece of shit kid. And then realistically, at the end, he like does everything. It's just kind of cool. They show like the sequences of everything. Like the jet engine falls through in the beginning, and it was his room. So that led you to believe like everybody else was like sleeping and shit. Where the fuck was he? And he ended up sleepwalking to safety. But then because he finds out that he can time travel and everything, everything starts going really bad in his life. Like his mom and daughter or sister on the way back would have died in the plane.
Mm-hmm.
His girlfriend would have died by the car. And like all this shit. So then he goes back and he just kills himself because he like puts him to where he was in his room and gets crushed by that jet engine. So that way his death pretty much saves everybody else's. So like at the end, like it's the mom and the girlfriend have their little waving session, and like the sister is still alive and like all this shit. So he did that so everybody else could live, but he had to go through it to know what was going to happen. So like the rabbit or Jake or whatever the hell, or Frank, the rabbit guy in the costume or whatever, he's the one that tells him, like, he says like the world's going to end, but realistically it wasn't the world. I don't think it was, maybe it was like Danny's world was going to end because he was going to lose everyone that meant anything to
Donnie.
him.
He said Danny.
Donnie, whatever.
It's Donnie. The movie's called Donnie Darko.
Oh, whatever. Danny, Donnie, whatever. And so yeah, I mean I lost my train of thought now. Thanks. Fuck.
No,
yeah. So he basically just warns him to like fix all this shit.
Yeah.
So that way nobody dies.
Yeah.
Except you. Like you have to die, unfortunately.
I think the book, the little like time travel instruction manual book or whatever, which I think is mentioned in the movie, but they don't like show it.
It's
like
shown.
I said, yeah, they show it.
It's shown. They do bits and pieces. It's how they kind of like transition into the next scene.
Yeah, in the director's cut, like they spend like an extra like 15 minutes on it. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it totally ruins it. Like I said, people don't like it.
It's a very interesting movie, but it's just like, man, you really gotta like just work yourself through the first like half.
Yeah,
even
it
almost.
Definitely like it gets
2
off
hours and 15 minutes long.
I didn't realize it was that long. Damn,
it's a long fucking
I don't think
movie.
my wife has seen it, so I want to see what she thinks, because I don't think she's gonna get it, and then I'm gonna have to explain it.
It's just rough to get through. That's for sure.
It's like I said, it's a very depressing movie because then your main character is just being a dick the whole time. And then at the end, you're like,
he's just like a depressed douche, you know?
Yeah,
anyway.
and then it makes sense at the end. I think what I did was I watched it. I was like, what did I just watch, dude? Like, I didn't know I didn't know what to make of it. And then I went and I read up on it, and it just blew my mind. And then I watched it again, and I was like, dude, that makes so much more sense. Like, that explains everything. But like, it's almost set up the way that the normal theatrical version is edited is to make you confused. Like, that's like the objective of that cut of it.
Right.
And so like it was pretty ballsy for them to go that route, because it definitely led to mixed reviews because people just didn't get it. But then it built up this crazy cult following because there's all these people who are like, this movie, like, you have to think and you have to like actually use your brain to understand it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so,
well, I mean, kind of. At the end, it's kind of like it makes sense. It's like, okay, like
there's stuff that you don't even realize. Trust me.
Right. I'm sure there's a lot more to it, I guess, that I might have missed.
Yeah.
But
like I went down a rabbit hole.
What he had to do.
I went down such a rabbit hole, dude. Like, because it explains so many scenes that don't make sense in the movie. You're like, what the fuck is this about? It's like him staring in the mirror and shit, and like putting his hand in the, you know, shit like that.
Right.
And like things that the rabbit says, like I think they're like things straight out of that book, and so they make sense now that you have like seen what he's talking about. It's really short, I'm pretty sure.
The one scene I was a little confused about was when that car comes flying and the two bullies are like about ready to kill him and his girlfriend or whatever, or like rob them or whatever. That car comes flying and the passenger gets out and it's like the clown, but then the driver is the fucking rabbit. And I was like, but isn't that guy dead? Or was it just like another guy wearing the costume? It was confusing. But he ran over his girlfriend because the girlfriend was in the middle of the road and it's like dark. You can't see.
Yeah.
And that was like the whole thing of like everybody was dying around him. Cause like I think the previous scene to that was like the mom and daughter were going down in the plane crash. So it's like he was losing everyone.
Genie's like, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Dude, it's fucking,
it's pretty nuts. Trippy. Yeah.
It's just rough, like I said, to get through the first beginning.
It's definitely it starts out really slow.
Yeah. It's very slow.
And like you get introduced to Donnie Darko and you're just like, this guy's a dick.
He's a douchebag. Yeah.
So like right away you're not like liking the protagonist, you know, and that makes it kind of hard to to watch.
Well, they paint him as the villain the whole time, and then he's really actually like the good guy.
Yeah, spoiler alert, Genie.
So, well,
now Genie,
20 years ago.
You got to watch it and experience it, and then you'll be like, whoa.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, good on you for making it through that. Because like I tried to watch The Green Knight that Genie told me was like amazing, and I got like 30 minutes in, I was like, fuck this shit.
I was so tempted to move on to something else. I was like, this shit sucks.
Do you think it was worth it? Do you think it was worth watching that one time?
Yeah, the one time for sure. I definitely couldn't watch it again, but it was like, I would like to learn, I guess, more of like what each scene was and like more of a concept, I guess, if it's deeper than what it is. But it's like the time travel concept and how he had to go back and basically kill himself in that original scene, like the beginning opening scene, so that way he could save everybody else.
Yeah. Well, because like the first time I watched it, and like they show that he saved everybody, right? But the way they do it is with that song that I'm pretty sure that movie made famous, the Mad World song.
Yes.
Yeah. So that song's playing, and you see like all these actors like just like crying like babies, and you're like, what the fuck? Like I don't get it, you know? And like you're like, oh, like you're like, dude, like that's pretty wild. Like the one, like just by him getting killed by the plane engine or whatever, like set off this chain of events where it saved everybody. But like they're still all like really like depressed people at the same time, you know? Yeah. But it's like, it's just a depressing ass movie. Who's in it? Is it Patrick Swayze? Does he play the teacher?
I'm not.
Because I just remember watching him like crying like a baby, and I'm just like, what the hell? And that song, all around me are familiar.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the? I'm like, this is depressing as hell. What's going on?
Well, it's Jake and Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yeah,
Drew
and they're playing brother and
sister.
sister.
Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
I
forgot
Seth
Drew Barrymore.
Rogen. Seth Rogen's one of the bullies.
Yeah.
And he's like super young in that movie.
Yeah.
James Duvall plays Frank.
I think it's a badass movie.
Davy Chase plays Samantha Darko.
It's one that you don't want to watch a lot because it's so depressing. It definitely puts you in like a sad mood.
Yeah.
It's
an interesting fucking
the concept of it. You know they made a second one about the sister. It was a complete flop.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was a complete flop.
What was it called?
S Darko.
Yeah.
It came out like 8 years later.
They tried.
Budget of 4.5 million. Well, because at that point it had built up such a huge cult following, you know.
Yeah.
Reception.
It was interesting that Call of Duty decided to release the Frank costume as Frank the Rabbit. As like
people have tattoos of the bunny and shit. Like that's like
it's a sinister ass looking bunny though. Like the mask. Yeah, but like
but that's just what people like remember when they think of Donnie Darko is that goddamn bunny mask.
Well, it's the cover of the movie too, or like the movie poster or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a decent film for sure.
A weird one for sure too.
Weird. definitely weird.
but I like movies that like kind of have to that kind of stump you for a bit, and you have to kind of like think about things to make sense of it. Like I like movies that don't. I like movies that don't like straight up just tell you what the fuck's going on. Like I hate when like they have dialogue that's obviously inserted just to explain something. You know, there's a term for it, but I can't remember. But yeah, that's definitely like the complete opposite of that. That's the movie that like doesn't tell you shit. You're just like, what is going on? Have you seen Memento?
No.
That is one of Christopher Nolan's first movies. You seen that, Jeannie?
Oh, really?
Yes, that's such a headache, man.
Yeah. So that movie,
such a...
honestly, the ending of that one pisses me off because I'm like, so there's no point. And I don't want to say why because Kyle might want to watch it, but like the concept is pretty crazy. It's this guy who's trying to find the guy who raped and murdered his wife. Ooh. But he has short-term memory loss because the guy like hit him and he hit his head. And so the movie is backwards. So like it'll show like 15 it'll show like a few minutes, like one scene, and like you'll see him like, you know, figure something out and like have to write something down, this and that, and then all of a sudden something will like get his attention and he'll forget about it because of his short-term memory loss. And then the next scene is everything leading up to the scene you just saw. So it'll be like the 5 or 6 minutes before that. So you're watching it backwards. You're watching what happened before the scene that you just watched every time.
That sounds like a headache.
It's so trippy, dude. But like, it's one of those movies where like, I think the way that it's like edited and the way that like it tells the story is the reason why it's good. Because at the end, like when you get the answer to like what's going on, you're just like, that's messed up. Like it's not a happy ending, you know? Mm-hmm. And it definitely makes you go like, wait, so this, like, it definitely makes you think, but it's not as depressing as Donnie Darko, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's definitely like, it's one of Christopher Nolan's first movies, so it's kind of low budget. Guy Pearce is the main character.
Okay.
And that one's a little older as well. But if you got time to watch that one, I'd recommend that one too. It's another trippy movie. I'm trying to think of any other trippy movies. I like trippy movies.
Apparently.
Genie's probably gonna.
Inception's pretty trippy. I like Inception.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Inception's trippy, but now that people have like purposely like made movies since then to like trip you out about dreams, it kind of ruins it. Like it just doesn't have the same nostalgia. You know? But I remember the first time I saw that was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like my favorite movie for a long, long time.
Do you think which one do you like better, Inception or Interstellar?
Inception for sure.
Really? I think I might like Interstellar more.
It's a lot more emotional in Interstellar. I remember that being the case. But
I think the ending of Inception is stronger.
That's what sticks with me is the ending. Just that whole like ticking time clock aspect of it.
Well, but Interstellar, the thing that gets me is the time dilation in that one. That's where it's like, holy shit. So like the 2.5 hours that they spent on this one planet was like 20 years back on Earth. And like his kids are all grown up now.
Yeah.
Like that alone, I was like, whoa. That's crazy.
That was intense, yeah. I think they're both really strong though.
Yeah.
They're both really strong.
I think I might like them equally.
I feel that.
They're very different movies though.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see I need to watch Tenet again because I've only watched that once. And I own it on 4K. But his next movie is supposed to be about the Manhattan Project.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious what he does with that because Dunkirk was like his first historical movie, and that was interesting. The way he decided to play that story out. It's not my favorite Christopher Nolan movie, but I still thought it was good.
Trying to see what it was called. It was Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer. I don't know how you say it.
What about it?
That's just the name of this next one.
Oh, okay. I was like, Genie, this better not be one of your Russian movies.
No.
Your foreign films.
But there are some trippy Russian movies I can tell you, man, that are really good.
I think the thing about foreign films that like takes me out of it is they're usually lower budget. You know?
Yeah. A lot of the time they are, but there's a couple that are really game changing. Like,
but if they are game changing, then it's like, oh, I'll just wait for the American remake. Because they always remake them, dude. Anytime there's a really good foreign film, they freaking remake it over here. And sometimes it's like as good, maybe not as good.
Kind of true, actually. Yeah.
But
they did that to Funny Games. They did that to The Guilty. They did that to a number of shit, actually.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of remakes. I mean, horror movies too. Like REC. They remade that one with the sister from Dexter.
Oh.
And then Ring. The Ring. Isn't that like Ring You or something like that? That's like the original like Japanese version or something.
I didn't know that. No.
It's dude, apparently Ring You, the original like Japanese version of The Ring, is like so goddamn scary that like it makes the Ring that they made here look like a kid's movie.
Really?
That's what I've heard.
I didn't know that existed.
Might have to check it out.
Yeah.
You can tell us how that is, because it has to be really good for me to sit through a foreign horror movie.
Yeah.
What?
How did you like Parasite? Did you like Parasite?
Oh, dude, Parasite was insane. But
which one is that?
That's the one, the foreign film that won a bunch of awards like a year or two ago.
I still haven't seen that.
It's definitely like it's a good ass movie.
Is it a horror movie?
No, but it's one of those like, I wouldn't say trippy. It's just kind of like the concept is like it just spirals out of control. You know? Mm-hmm. The one thing that I didn't like about it is that at the end of the day, it's just another one of those movies where like there's no good people in it. And I can't stand movies like that. Where like everybody in it is just like shitty people. Like they have no morals. You know?
Right. Yeah.
Like there's nobody to root for in it.
Right.
You know? You're kind of just like a fly on the wall watching shit go down.
Right.
Which some people like. Which I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying that that was one of the things that I didn't like about it, but it was a good ass movie. And then it's in what is it in Korean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I made sure to watch that one with just Korean subtitles, because I feel like something of that high budget, like you don't watch that shit dubbed, you know. It's a pretty big budget movie for what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one's pretty wild, because it's just like this story about a family who does some really like, I don't know how you would explain it, shady stuff. Like they're kind of like it's like a con family, you know, like a con artist. It's like a con family, and they like one by one like take over this family's like house. It's so hard to describe without like spoiling anything. But that's definitely like up there as one of the best movies of like the last couple of years. So that one you should definitely watch.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could watch. I could talk about TV and movies forever. So we should probably end it before I go on about something else.
So you were like, yeah, we want an hour-long episode. It's like 2 hours right now.
I didn't realize, because I stopped it to make sure that like we're not gonna have a whole 2-hour chunk that's garbled. So every time I look, it's like, oh, it's only been 9 more minutes, but it's really been almost 2 hours apparently. So
yeah.
All right.
We're on daily here.
Yeah. Sorry, Kyle. You could just you could just tell me next time. Just be like, hey, yo, shut the fuck up. It's time to end the podcast.
I can't do that.
I'm sure there's probably only like a dozen people or something like that make it this far into it, because I'm just rambling about movies. And Jeannie's like, yeah. And Kyle's like looking at his phone, and he's just like, oh yeah.
It's all good though.
To be fair, there is this one.
Uh-oh.
Stalker.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Crazy good Russian.
I've heard of it.
Thing. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. Anyway, yeah, let's shut the fuck up. Yeah, sorry.
You know what I think it is? And I don't know if you guys, I think you guys, I don't know. I don't know if you guys are the same way or not, but like I spend so much time just like in my own head working on stuff that when I finally get to talk, it's just like, oh yeah, like socializing, like that's a thing. Like, and like I could just talk to people forever. Like just talk about shit, you know?
Yeah. No, I definitely feel that. There's some days where I'm like that and some days I'm not, but
Kyle's on vacation, so he's like, end this shit already.
No, I'm just thinking like I'm gonna like edit and stuff, but also I have like something I gotta talk to you guys about too afterwards. So
okay.
I was just like trying to like get everything set.
Oh yeah.
Make sure we have time to do everything.
All right, before I end it, I just gotta make a note.
The woods here.
I just realized I have a dent in my toenail, like my big toe, like something fell on it.
What the fuck?
A dent?
Yeah, there's
like,
legit.
Is it black?
No.
It's like
there's just like a dent. No, it's not bruised. Right. I can just feel it. It's weird. I would show you, but that'd be kind of weird too. So I'm not gonna do that.
Right.
Show you my feet. Somebody's gonna be screenshotting this shit.
I was just gonna say somebody's gonna be like
4K.
OnlyFans.
Yeah. But all right. We'll see you next week.
See you guys
probably a day later.
Thanks for tuning in.
Very fun. Very fun.
We'll talk about Dune.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. Peace.
All right. See you guys.